Of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, I'm back from the Kyocera Reimagine meeting down there in San Antonio. Folks, what a fantastic time. It was awesome to meet up with some old friends, to make some new ones. And folks, I got to tell you, when I travel, I just appreciate so much all of the fans of the end of the day with Ray. I thank you so much for your support. So now let's jump on the Sharp Interactive board. I put together a little PowerPoint presentation so I could recap this Kyocera meeting because it was a fantastic event. I was super excited about some of the things I've heard. So let's just jump right into it, folks. I want to start at the end of the meeting. So I put this slide here together. And this is when we were all at that ranch. You know, we went out to this ranch. There's going to be some bull riding, barrel racing. And folks, I saw this bull sitting there and I wanted to have a conversation with it. And I went up to the bull and I said, for a bull, you're being very friendly, because this bull was allowing people to hang all over it. You can see me hanging all over it there, having pictures taken with it. And then the bull said back to me, I'm being nice because if these folks just focus on print, they won't be around long. I mean, even the bull knew it. Even the bull knew it. If our industry just focuses on print, they won't be around much longer. At least not in the comfort that they were back in 1990. So I just wanted to thank that bull for that observation because, you know, let me just put it to you this way. At that Kyocera meeting, there wasn't any bull. It was straight talk, bold ideas, all in a quest to deliver the future to the present. I put together this little quote about the meeting. Sometimes I like to summarize these meetings in a quote. No one can define the future. However, those who journey towards the future on a path of continuous relevance will deliver the future to the present. No one can define the future, but those who journey on a path toward continuous relevance will deliver the future to the present. And I see this in Kyocera. I see Oscar Sanchez and his team on a path of continuous relevance. And they understand along that path there's going to be some detours. They understand along that path there's going to be some hiccups. And they understand along that path there's going to be a whole lot of naysayers. But you know what? I don't believe Oscar Sanchez and his team really care about the status quo. I think they have a mission to destroy the status quo. I think they have a mission to definitely stay on this path of continuous relevance as they gather more people to go on the journey with them. You know, I had an opportunity to visit with Oscar and most of his leaders. I did this little short video with Oscar, but you know, I want to go through some things and then I'm going to get into this PowerPoint. But I truly believe, and this is what I think that Oscar thinks. Not that I'm a mind reader, but this is what I get from having conversations with Oscar. It's about expertise over familiarity. Expertise over familiarity. Familiarity could be such a detriment to a continuous relevance. Boldness over appeasement. Oscar's not the person that's going to stand on stage and tell you what you want to hear to make you feel good. He's going to stand on stage and tell you what you need to hear to make you better. And Oscar might not be right all of the time, but Oscar's not going to appease people for the sake of appeasement. Oscar's going to tell you what he truly believes you need to hear, because he knows that being on that journey toward continuous relevance is a tough journey. Oscar bases things on the marketplace realities of 2022, not 1990. It's about 2022. Look out there at those end users and understand what those end users want with our products and how are we going to deliver our products and services to end users and deliver a better experience. Because Oscar knows it's about the experience the end users get. Oscar knows it's about the outcomes the end users get. It's never been about the product. It's about the end user and the outcome. You know, when I was sitting there looking at his leaders, and they're all there on stage, and Oscar's talking about these leaders, something really hit me. In order for Oscar to stay on this path toward continuous relevance, he had to put together a team. I dub it the dream team. But you know what I find really interesting about this team? Hardly any of them are from our industry. Because Oscar knew it wasn't just about titles, it's about expertise. It's not just about titles, it's about expertise. Look at some of these folks. Joseph comes out of Hitachi, Vice President, Managing Professional Services. In other words, Oscar didn't look within Kyocera and say, hey, we have a guy that was doing really well doing managed print services. Let's put him in charge of our IT services platform and our professional services platform. Oscar went out and looked for expertise. You know, he mentioned at this meeting, the first person he hired on his dream team was Natalie Cumberbatch, and she's their human resource officer. By the way, Natalie was the one that kicked off the meeting. When was the last time you've been to an OEM meeting and the human resource officer kicked off the meeting? Human capital, the human capital component is extremely important to Oscar. But Natalie came from Child Mind Institute. Vice President Corporate Marketing, Jose, we all love Jose, he's a great guy. He came out of Deloitte. Chief Financial Office, Loney, she comes out of Teva Financials, or Pharmaceuticals, excuse me. Teva Pharmaceuticals. It's not about titles, it's about expertise. It's about expertise. Frank Zupa, Vice President Customer Operation, comes out of Verizon. It's not about titles, it's about expertise. You talk to Frank for about 5 minutes and you realize, wow. Frank doesn't need to know, what a duplexer is. Frank just needs to know how to get it to you. Folks, these guys are experts at what they do. And gals. Don Duvall, Vice President Channel Sales. He came out of our industry, and of course, Oscar did. But ladies and gentlemen, you can tell that Oscar's putting a team together based on expertise. Because being on that journey toward continuous relevance is going to take that expertise to get you down that path. Oscar stood on stage. He had these 7 slides behind him. I added number 8, and I'll get to it in a minute. But he talks about the easiest company to do business with. I tell Oscar and all OEMs, being the easiest company to do business with is just permission to show up, and Oscar knows that. The most complete hardware portfolio. Folks, Kyocera has a pretty robust product portfolio. A pretty robust product portfolio, and they're in a position to do something I'm going to explain in a minute. A unique production, inkjet. This inkjet technology, and I've had Michael pull it on the end of the day with Ray, who heads that up for them. But this inkjet technology is not stopping at the Task Alpha 50,000C. That's just where it began. Stay tuned for more on that. Kyocera software products, data bank, expertise, professional services. They're this data bank product, folks, it's pretty amazing stuff. Pretty amazing stuff. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Managed IT available for you. Here's the reality on the managed IT stuff. I don't know enough about it yet from Kyocera, but I assure you, I'm going to want to know a lot about it because I'm pretty particular about managed IT and how it is delivered through our channel. E-commerce. Where in the world do you go to an OEM meeting and they have an actual e-commerce booth? My friends, Norm McConaughey and his team from MPS Toolbox, manning a booth at an OEM meeting, talking about e-commerce. Amazing stuff. So I added number 8, and I call it boldness. Boldness. Maybe they didn't want to brag about themselves, but I'll tell you right now, they are bold. Because they talked about things at that meeting that I've never heard an OEM leader talk about, and I was excited to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to follow up with this, and I'm going to do a separate episode on this topic. But Kyocera is in a position to do something pretty spectacular, which will shake up the status quo in a really big way. And I asked this question, is Kyocera in a position to become the dealer's mainline choice? Who do they knock out? Is Kyocera in a position to become a dealer's mainline choice? And I'm not talking about small dealers. I'm talking about those medium and mega dealers. Is Kyocera in a position to knock out an OEM to become the main line? Stay tuned for that special episode. But think about Kyocera's corporate financial strength. Total company $13.8 billion with a 10.8% operating profit. The document solutions unit, that unit we all live in, right? $2.8 billion with a 9.1% operating profit. They know how to make money. They know how to control their cost. and they know how to deliver in the marketplace, and they know how to deliver to their shareholders. Those are two great things. Bold leadership who speaks the truth over appeasement. I can't say this enough. I'm so sick of hearing some of these leaders in our industry standing on stage telling people what they want to hear because they're too much of a wimp to tell them the truth. You know what? When an industry is declining and being disrupted, wimps aren't going to get you there. Wimps aren't going to drag you down this path of continuous relevance. It's going to take bold leadership. A4 strategy aligns with the marketplace realities. You know, Kyocera has one of the, well, they do. They have the largest A4 lineup out there. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. They're doing some really neat things around A4. And you know me, the A4 revolution guy. I love A4. Ink production print disrupts the status quo in cut sheet production, and it's just starting at that cut sheet production. Stay tuned, folks. A lot more to come on that. Speed keys redefining the A3 marketplace. Buy one machine, right? I mean, think about it, folks. One machine could be a whole bunch of different speeds. It's crazy. It's science fiction, right? It's delivering the future to the present. Data bank IMX, turning data into information for action. You know, when Matt Charleston, the president of that company, started that business over there, right? I mean, think about this data bank. They're building a business around content and document management. And when they started that, they didn't even know what an MFP was. They probably didn't even care. They didn't. They built a platform for an end user to manage content and navigate information in a digital landscape. You know, there's a lot of ECM, content management platforms out there, right? But a lot of these content management platforms were built specifically to advance MFPs into the marketplace. It was all about scanning and things. This one's different. It's all about information. And there is a big differentiator there. I can't wait to explore this more with you all. Subscription billing and e-commerce are the strategy. Again, subscription billing, e-commerce. Oscar was the first OEM leader up there screaming about subscription billing, right? We got to do it. We got to do it. We got to have the science behind it. We have to understand how to do it based on science, not nonsense. It can be none. Continuous relevance is based on end users, not outdated dealer practices. And I'm going to sum it up this way. At this Kyocera event, I was excited to see OEM leadership talking to the dealers about things they need to hear. And then telling those dealer partners, we're here to help. But they also told them, if you want to get on this path toward continuous relevance, get ready for a rough journey. But we will get there if we work together. Just some things to think about, my friends, because we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.